Hey guys, welcome back to War Thunder, and welcome to the first ever War Thunder ASMR YouTube commentary. This video is proudly brought to you by none other than the Australian Rode NT1 microphone. It is in fact my old microphone that I used to use for commentaries, voiceovers, live streams, and frankly pulling it out of the box after 2 years feels rather good. And it gave me some ideas of creating ASMR bread crusting sounds. Maybe if you like that idea, squeeze the like button and let me know with a comment. Now, a question I've been getting asked a lot lately is whether I'm going to be reviewing the Chinese Ground Forces tech tree. The honest truth is that I already have. I've played both the Russians and the Americans. What more do you want? No, but seriously, I've reached a point right now where I've found something in the game that I enjoy so much that it's sort of distracted me from everything else the game has to offer. It's very similar to some single player games. I don't know if you've ever played The Witcher 3, but it's the kind of game that I could play for hours. 12 days will go by, your cat's died, there's cobwebs everywhere, your family's no longer there, your girlfriend left you, but you're not level 100 yet, so you're still playing. And I'm getting this kind of mood from playing jets. I've just been very, very hooked up on these rockets, learning how to use them, learning the matchmaker, learning different maps, and it has been addictive. Now, to make matters easier for me, I'm actually going to spend the majority of this video explaining how I've been learning these planes, because the learning curve is relatively high, especially if you're brand new, you're flying a stock jet, you don't have all these rockets researched. And yeah, if you're flying 9.0, you're probably having a very bad time. It is the 10.0s. I'm gonna sneeze. As I was saying, the learning curve is relatively high, and if you're flying a plane like 9.0s and 9.3s, you're probably going to be in a bit of a disadvantage. So everything I'm about to say really only applies to being a YouTuber who has access to Spade's top-tier aircraft. There, now I said it. As I was saying, the skill ceiling is relatively high, and the learning curve is definitely among one of the hardest, at least for a person like me. The F-100 though, a funny story, when I first saw this plane, when it was first introduced, I flew a couple of matches with it, and I hated it. I hated Gaijin for having added these jets, for having ruined the old matchmaker, for having ruined the way the jets used to feel like. And it wasn't until I actually flown it myself in this patch that I fell in love with the plane. And it's the combination of 4 guns and 4 rockets that I love so much. So in order for me to actually learn how to fly these jets, I adapted a bit of a different playstyle. I tried a bit of side climbing, tried a bit of zoom climbing, tried staying low. Really, it boiled down to learning how to use these rockets, and so the F-100 was a great sort of guinea pig for the testing, because it has 4 rockets instead of just 2. 2 rockets per match just, I don't think, was enough to really learn how to use them. 4 though, with 4, I can make do. It took me a very long time to learn this, but it's all about the relationship between the big and the small circle. The small circle with which you lock onto the enemy's exhaust, and the big circle with which you sort of curve the rocket or give it a bit of a projection of its flight path, so that you can decide whether or not the rocket will have a chance to continue tracking if the enemy turned, or whether it's going to fly in a completely different direction. So learning how to adjust the small circle and the big circle is the most important thing about learning where these rockets will actually end up firing. Now, as soon as I mastered rockets, or let's just say gotten the hang of them, I came across a different problem. A problem I never had in the old jets, and that was target selection and target fixation. In the old jets, because everything was going slightly slower, because there were no rockets, so you couldn't really engage at long distances, this wasn't so much of a problem. I'd like to say that back in the day, my skill in selecting what target has to go first was incredible. But now I suffer. I had to make make a decision which planes was I going to target first. And once I'd flown the Hunter, I realised that the Hunter was the first thing that had to go, because if you get a Hunter behind you within 1 kilometre, you're dead. Now the third and final learning curve that I had to go through, which I have to say wasn't the most difficult one, but definitely the most challenging, even though I'd not anticipated it, was the down tier. Now, it's not very common. I'd say once every 12 to 15 matches you'll get one match where you're entirely down tiered, so you're the only 10.0 or 9.7 plane. Everything else is 9.0, even 8.7. And now the reason why it's more difficult in an aspect is that when using rockets against 9.0 planes, they tend to have less speed and more maneuverability. So because your closure rate is so high, it tends to be kind of difficult to try to get the rocket locked, fired and angled in the right direction before the enemy's, flown off in a third way. So I found myself more so using guns in these down tiers than actually going after rockets. Now with that said, there is going to be, usually in these down tiers, at least 1 or 2 people on the enemy team who have also had the fortune you've had. So they're also going to be the down tier 10.0 or 9.7 plane. And this is where the first 2 lessons come to mind. So now in this furball of up-tiered planes, we have to find that one guy who is the biggest threat and focus him down, as we're the ones who are most capable of doing so. And it doesn't necessarily mean actually going and fully, focusing them. Just making sure that they're being bothered, making sure that they're not given enough freedom to really rain havoc on our team. And by doing this, you're increasing the lifespan of your own team, which increases your lifespan, because that means less people will be focusing you down, less people will be annoying you, giving you more freedom to move around, maybe do a couple of turn fights, whereas normally you'd be applying boom and zoom or energy fighting tactics. And the bonus lesson number 4, which I think is very important to keep in your mind, but also a very simple one to follow. Shoot down any saber you see without wings. I don't care if it's missing both wings, one wing, a wing root, half a tail. Shoot down any saber that you spot, because those things, for whatever reason, have a flight model that is so broken they can fly without half their plane missing. Now, they're not going to be very good at doing that, but they're going to be good enough to fly around and, shoot at you when you're landing, shoot your teammates when they're landing, pop out of the clouds with the broken spotting system and shoot you to bits. Just shoot down any saber that you see without a wing. With all that said, I don't think there's any more lessons or advice that I can really give you, because I've yet to fly a couple of vehicles out. I would like to dwell into the Japanese T2. I have still to master the Chinese MiG-21, and then of course the actual MiG-21, which I am in no way looking forward to, because it has 2 rockets that I'm not familiar with using and only 1 gun. In a match where I've very much gotten used to using a lot of guns with a lot of ammunition. Needless to say, the learning curve is going to be quite high, but weird as it is, I'm looking forward to the challenge. As I said, I've not really had fun in the game because I come from the type of player that likes to grind. I'm a grinder, and so not having the option to go and spade everything like I once did, I have to resort to alternative grinding methods, and in this case that simply said has to be trying to at least grind out these top tier jets when it comes to skill, utility, the style of playing, and hopefully becoming as good as I once was in top tier jet RP. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below whether or not you're a fan of ASMR, and perhaps if this video gets a good response, I will make another video as such in the not so distant future. Anyway, hope you guys really enjoyed this video.